There's a couple things to say about this. First, there are two bits of advice you often hear when you're raising money, or sort of like overall heuristics. One is, raise as much as you need, no more, no less. And the other is raise as much as you can without giving away the farm. And it makes sense, actually. Of course, the former is best if you know exactly what you need and how it's all going to work and all of this, but nobody does. And so the safe bet is then, raise as much money as you can without, giving away too much ownership, essentially. And there are I think pre-A, right, there's just a lot of soft boundaries, basically, right? Like the A has norms around you sell about 20%, and ranges, but when in pre-seed and seed, the amount of money you raise and the valuations shift, and have over time, and the names are seed, jumbo seed, all of this sort of stuff. I think the important thing is just decide how much you really need or how much you can raise, right? And then go do that, and then call it whatever people are calling that amount whenever you're raising it, right? If you're raising $1 million, people are going to call it basically a pre-seed nowadays. And if you're raising, 3, or something like this, they'll call it a seed. Now, maybe more important are the valuations, right? Like pre-seed pretty standardly is just you have an idea, you have some traction, right? You have a team, all of these sorts of things. And the gates that we talked about before, where you have a team, it's a big market, the idea makes some sense. And you're basically going out and saying, we're just starting, we want some time to figure this out. We're pre-product market fit, of course. The company's worth $5 million, right? Is some basic norm. And raising pre-money safes in the Bay, let's say. This will be different in different cities, but again, just go raise in the Bay. This is basically the norm for somebody starting a tech company and being able to do this. Second time founders might do their pre-seeds at 10 million, right? There's some range, depending on what the industry is and such, but you pretty much have just pre-seed is when you kick it off, and then seed is probably the largest variance in this whole thing. You can raise a seed or call it a seed, let's say anywhere from probably 10 to 50, and you could raise 2 to 8, 2 to 10, something like this, right? And so we did 3, maybe got oversubscribed at 6 or 7. I watched other founders have raised 7 or 8 on the seed. Some people raise 1.5, and it's almost like a pre-seed extension, and they'll call it a seed, so it doesn't feel like it's a bridge, right? You basically just want to feel like you're moving along, which is the kind of point of calling them pre-seed and seed, and no longer feeling like an extension. But you can imagine the valuations go from 4 to 10 on pre-seed to 10 to 50 on seed, and then this is an overlap, of course, between these days, especially with the market depressed, say 40 to 150 at A's, right? But people tend to say raise 15 on 75 or 20 on 100 at an A, which is a more clear stage. So some of this stuff is pretty wide open.
Yeah, 2010 seed was 1.3, A was a 5, and the B was 15. 2018, the seed was 5.6, the A was 15.7, and the B is 30. That doubled. All right. Seed is the new A is the new B.